Hey yo, 6-0!
Hello. Everything's going pretty good. Bit of a scuffed stream today, but this is this is what we have to work with for today.
Pirox yet to both sides coming in looking to try and really put their claim on the 1 seed as we look forward to the playoffs. Now, I've backed up my reasoning as to why it's a 1-1 series, right? Pirox completely undefeated, Lodestar very solid themselves. I want to hear why from you Lodestar are going to win 2-0 today.
So, from my experience with watching Lodestar, I watched a meme on a team a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, I've seen them against Pirox. Pirox ain't doing anything. I think it's going to be a very unbalanced game.
That is an insane statement, by the way, for a team that is currently 12 maps out of 12 in this tournament. I had to see if Lodestar can back it up because they have the full confidence of the broadcast behind them. I'll admit I am slightly skeptical. I've seen them in another tournament where they didn't necessarily do the best, but they're here to really make their stand, make their presence known, try and get into Div 1 for the next split so that they can really start to push on through the tier 2 scene and look to climb because they have some insane players, does the Lodestar team.
Well, we did see them in the other tournament, which was VEC, where sadly they FF'd the game because of personal issues and lost against Uniway, I think it was, but won that other match. They did make a very good comeback against Uniway, which did win the Surge. And that's a pretty big achievement for any team in the tier 3 scene. So maybe Lodestar can prove to be good against Pirox.
And as you rightly said, they met up against a very tough competitor in that group that they played. But they went down, 13-8, 13-6. It wasn't exactly close in that one. Let's see if they can turn around. Looking forward to the SOL Div 2. They have only dropped the one map out of the 10 that they have played, looking to make that 11 out of 12 today. You clearly think they can. I'm not going to certainly say they can or can't, but I'm very interested to see what we have going on, and I believe we will soon be able to get into at least our map veto so we can see what we're going to be playing on today, because currently we don't know.
Yeah, everything's still a little bit everywhere, over the place, once we wait for the veto link, because maybe... Oh! It's just opened.
I'm so good at this. I'm so good at timing. It's insane.
Oh, that timing was actually pretty good.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for. You pay me for the timing. Hits half past on the dot. The veto link opens up, and hopefully we can start to have a look at what these guys are going to be playing. I'm very excited to see what maps they're going to be looking at.
What maps do you think are going to be picked?
I honestly don't know. I'm here for whatever they want to go with. I'm expecting some 3-site shenanigans. It's been pretty common. It's basically everywhere right now. Just play a 3 map and both sides are pretty even on it. So, if you do end up going down, not able to get much on your defender side, you have the ways to get back. But the same goes for your attacker side. If you're not able to get many rounds on that attacker side, maybe you can get them back while defending. So it goes both ways. I think a lot of teams like that, where they can feel no game is really unlosable, right? You can go into the half at 9-3 and you can still come back and make a game out of it. I think that's something that a lot of teams really have to kind of cherish as an option. When you look towards some of these more 2-site maps, it can feel very difficult to really get in and get anything done. So I think if nothing else, just that mental edge that it provides.
Honestly, I just want to see Split.
Oh yeah, you're here for the 2 map, the 2-site.
I have not seen Split being played in a very, very long time in either SOL or anything else. I just want Split. It's been too long.
I'd have to check the VCT, which I haven't. I'll admit I haven't been keeping up with most recently. Not my esport, if I'm being truthful, but I don't think it's been played all too much across the place. It looks like it was picked earlier today. It would appear in Europe. So there's
That's why
something.
the Europeans do it best.
Yeah, apparently. It was Team Vitality taking out Giant X 13-9 on your favorite map. So
Yeah, good.
there's a
Glad to
little
see
something.
why tier 2 teams hate playing on Split, but then they go for other maps like Lotus, Fracture.
So much Lotus.
Yeah, Lotus is starting to get a little bit boring.
It
Sure, it
does look
looks
nice though.
good, but like
It does look nice. It has that going in its favor. Whatever you say, it always does look nice.
Fracture,
So
however, that can go in the bin.
I think that's valid. We are waiting for just a couple more players to ready up. One more player from Lodestar Academy. The coach of Pirox is now readied up, so they are all ready. It's literally just Yolmen. And then we are ready to go into this map ban. Here it comes.
Oh, it's starting.
It's starting. The tension is rising. Unfortunately, you guys can't see this at all, but we can.
Well,
Let's see what gets banned away first.
I think from what we're seeing, Lodestar is picking first.
It would appear to be that case.
It's
Now we just
really
have to see what they
anticlimactic.
choose. Anticipation is high.
Just staring at
Tensions
the
are rising.
screen. Yup.
What's it going to be? Are they
Oh.
going to do anything?
We're still here.
I can't see them
Yes.
doing anything here. Please don't leave me in suspense like this.
They are taking their time, definitely.
They really are. They're taking a lot more time than I thought they had.
Taking a whole minute just to pick a map.
It's a map to ban, right? It's not even picking the map. It's a map to ban. What's going on?
Oh,
There we go. They have
oh,
banned. Oh, the whole
Oh.
thing's done.
crazy.
And I can't see any of it. Oh, it's coming through. So the first ban was Haven by Lodestar. They not feeling that 3-site map at all. Coming in from Pirox. What are we expecting? It looks like Split
Oh,
instantly
my
out
goodness.
of there. Unfortunate. The second you mention it is the second it gets banned. Fracture taken away by Lodestar Esports. They don't fancy the weird zipline going in. Instead, they favor some of the other maps. It looks like Pirox don't favor Icebox. A recent addition back into the map pool, not taken today. Right. 3 maps remaining. 2 of them will be played. The first one that will be played is Lotus.
Of course.
Everyone's favorite. It looks so nice. I have to say it again. It does look nice. It really does. And we will get another lovely view. Pirox starting on the attacker side. Again, one of the things when you choose to pick those 3-site maps, the other team can really start to throw those curveballs with which side they want to start on. Ascent being picked as our second map. One of the OGs coming back in. Do like to see that. Do like
I'm
to see
now
that.
waiting for the final map by Lodestar Esports. I think it's pretty
They've chosen
obvious.
Defender. Then this is just best of 2.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
just
forgot
best
this
of
is the
2.
best of 2. My bad, chat. Well, it's fine.
So Lodestar will be starting Defender side on both maps. Pirox starting on the attacker side on both. Starting off with Lotus, Pirox on the attackers. We're expecting Lodestar to come in with something beautiful cooked up in their team comp. What can we expect?
I don't know, but from what I've seen, my personal experience watching and observing this team, they always start amazingly on Defender side and always win.
Always win, apart from
They
the times when they
always win.
lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, they win 100% of the games they win, and they lose 100% of the games they lose. So at the end of the day, they win when they win, they lose when they lose. But hopefully, for the side of Lodestar, they will be winning today. Hopefully for Pirox, they can also hold their own. Lodestar has kind of the rank supremacy, but that doesn't just mean that they're going to win this game by default. Still some very, very solid players on Pirox. Even the ones that haven't got the highest rank right now, they have peaked into Immortal convincingly. Both of these teams looking to take this game down to the wire. I think it'll be close. Still going to go with it. I'm not backing down. 1-1, I think, is a solid prediction. The best thing about saying 1-1 is that you're always right after the first map.
You make a very fair point there. You are correct. But the second map is all that matters. The second map is what tells you if you are correct by the end or not.
That's very valid. That is very valid. We will just have to see what happens as we are looking to get into the game now.
But I think all the players are still waiting to load up, so we might throw you
Lovely.
guys into a short break. And we'll be
That works
back
for me.
with the draft. So we shall see you in a little bit.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lodestar Esports broadcast. We are loading right into Lotus, right on time, and we have Lodestar on the defenders.
Well, I'm seeing a really great one from He's Back, going off of his jet pick normally, and going into race.
Yeah, Ray's pretty common, I will say, on Lotus. The amount of control you get from having that early nade on A gives so much pressure against the attacker side. They basically are forced to either wait for that nade to come or take 50 damage each, if not more. It's so potent and it's such a threat. If you can establish that as a threat early in the half, you can then start to rotate off of it. You start to make it so that the attackers feel like they can't come out. If Pirox feel like they're a little bit boxed out of a long, suddenly this map becomes very, very congested. I do love the race pick here.
And we can see from one of the sides currently still not locked in, but they might be going double smokes, which clearly shows they don't have confidence. Whereas you see LSE going in one smoke, and everyone else is just going to be a pushing character.
They don't want the smoke. That's what we say.
They do not want the smoke. They want to give
I mean,
the smoke.
Pirox want the smoke. It feels like they are up for this. They are ready right now. They are all sorts of here to get into this, as it looks like the time will run out. Neon and Clove selected for them. They were hovering it anyway, so it doesn't matter all too much in the end. But running through the teams, we have on the side of Lodestar, the Rays, the Teo, the Omen, the Vice, and the Fade. On the other side, Fade, Neon, Clove, Omen, and Breach for Pirox. Not even close to being a mirror matchup. I do love to see that.
I think it's going to be a close match now. Maybe
Oh,
my
now
prediction
you
was
think it's close.
incorrect. I'm
Now
looking
it's
at that
close.
Breach and I don't know. It looks a bit scary.
Yeah, now he comes crawling back. I see. We will just have to find out what people think after we have finally got into this game. We have been hyping this up for a good little time, but we are finally ready to get into this. As we see once more, we talk about it. The pressure on the A-Long will come in when you have things like the Rays. You can really look to push on this. You can force the other side out. In a round like the pistol, it can be so important just to get that box out.
I'm starting to like this draft. They're thinking of pushing A, but then again, all players of Lodestar are on A side.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be very
Looks
interesting.
like a default going to come out, and it's going to force them right the way back out of A, but it's going to be a massive commitment. Omen has walked right the way up. Teo holding on the B site. Omen's going to get the pick. Then Demo finds Ants at the start of the round. It's a huge pick into this one for Pirox. Another tag heading over, going both ways. But I think that's absolutely fine for Pirox. They don't lose anyone. They're in the 5v4. Defenders scrambling to just get across the map in time, as it looks like the C hit will come in. The wall falls. Vice forced a little bit of a delay in this push, but it won't only be that delay. The stun is just a stun. The site is theirs. Can they find this Omen before they can go for this flank? Looks like they will find the Omen. Potentially, there he goes. It's down to a 4v4. This is not the worst case scenario for Lodestar, but they do have to pick up the pace and really get into this round.
Oh, they seem to be all pushing a C. Breach stunning them. Does he get blinded? No.
Getting tagged through the wall. The Boombot has found him. He's going to have to peek over the top. He's forced to peek on this. It's not a good angle. JNK finds one, but here comes the trade. Riwa gets one back, and suddenly it's getting super, super close. I can't go. Gets the kill, but he goes down. A 1v2 now for the Neon. Can they pull this through? JNK gets a triple on the Classic. A huge round from the Omen.
That round went exactly as I expected. I think my prediction is correct once again.
Are we doing this?
Yes, we are.
Okay. We are bouncing all over the place. We are so back and we are so cooked. Back to back.
Hopefully, guys, this will work. This is untested. As I told you, this is a very scuffed stream. But maybe right now we will have a replay working. Let's see.
We can only hope.
And
I think you'll have the instant feedback.
It didn't work. So
that is unfortunate.
We're back in game.
Well, we're back in game. We're back into the start of the second round. The Eco forced out after losing that first one. And they forced... yeah, it's just a Sheriff that is already fallen. Haunted Bang and the Endemo, both taken out by Reedcat on the Outlaw. A beautiful buy into the Eco. It's so consistent as a sniper rifle, getting these early kills. Even when you get pushed into by multiple people, like happened there, the 2 bullets more than enough to get the 2 kills. It's going to be a fade now, trying to grab something out of nothing here. Sneaks the Sheriff away, but they are stuck in the attacker spawn. Can Pirox actually get anything done here? Or are they just going to slowly be collapsed on? The Raze is peeking deep on the Guardian. Doesn't find anything themselves, but I Can't Cope will instead. The Bulldog fires out, rings true. He's back, gets one, and gets another. And it is a flawless round for the second.
Once again, they all just basically stayed in spawn. They didn't really move around anywhere and just allowed them to push. It was unfair.
That's the issue with these ecos. You don't have the time. You don't have the firepower to deny anything like that. You are just forced to sit and wait. And in this case, it did come back to haunt them. Going into this third, we do have the buy round coming out. Pirox not out of this one just yet. Lodestar on the complete bonus after that perfect flawless round. Let's see what they can do. Teo gonna force out. He's back. Goes to the wrong thing at the wrong time. The Boom Buddy is not what he wanted right there. He's marked Decayed right the way down to 1 HP. Gonna escape with his life, but not much more than a lifeline. As now the rest of Pirox look to push into the Vice, and they have. They found the pick on the A site already, and this is an open site.
Oh, they're getting the plant done. No one knows yet. Maybe the Fade gets a pick? No, yeah. She runs back away.
Fade plays away on the side. She doesn't need to peek on this right now. Lodestar down in another 4v5. They proved once they can do it. Can they do it again? This time into rifles instead of pistols. The hand's going to matter all the more. And he's back. Is already taken solo. J. Gay going to fall down too. Going to go for the aim fight. And Ants will take it on the Guardian into the Vandal. He doesn't care. He finds the kill. Down to 5 HP. He is not looking healthy. Very low health bars on the side of Lodestar. And they have to push now into the tree room. I Can't Cope on just the Bulldog. Ants does find one. The time is not in their favor. Not even high despite the fuse. And he's back. Will fall. A double at the end to Nemo. And a beautiful round to get back into it for Pirox.
See, the difference is this time they actually had guns. They could shoot back. And we saw the difference at the confidence levels. Apparently.
Yeah. Turns out when both sides have guns, it suddenly matters a lot more what those guns are. And in this round, it was Pirox with the superior weaponry, having just bought. Interesting to see that he's back is playing with a teddy bear. Always good to see people enjoying their hobbies. As we head into this fourth round, the full buy coming out. Whoever wins this in a great stead for the rest of the half. It looks like Asta has been forced on to the inferior weaponry. Didn't want to buy into this round. Playing a little bit of bonus themselves here. Zeking himself didn't want to get caught out. That looked like a dink through the wall. Ants on a beautiful angle. Finds the damage onto Nemo. Probably going to drop over that Vandal now if Asta wants to move back around. Looks like it isn't going to be the case. So much pressure right now on the map. And a good bait out of the wall comes in early. Lodestar unable to find the Neon. Able to get the bait out. And here comes the ult already. Didn't even see that. Rear already finding that Fade ultimate. Gonna force out a lot of movement now. Lodestar tagged down low just from that decay. And it's going to push them right the way back. And they're going to use this to rotate round. Now that the Vice lost her wall on the C site, it's suddenly feeling a lot more open than it did.
I'm liking the positioning of Pirox this game. Oh, they're finally going for the push.
They're going to go. Reedcat left alone on this site. He hasn't been spotted. He's going to get the perfect timing. Goes 1 for 1 though. Asta, even with the Sheriff, more than deadly enough for the job. And it's going to be a 4v4 retake if they can get the spike down right now. It's going to go down at the back and they're going to trade 1 for 1 again. Ants gets the trade, gets the second J. Finding that one instead. A beautiful team play from the waterfall. And they're going to find he's back on a beautiful flank. Rear goes down. 1v3 now for Z-King on the Bulldog. He's not up to the task and it's a third round for Lodestar.
I think that was a really good play. And you know what's even better? I think we might actually have a replay this time.
Oh, go on.
Second attempt, surely, guys. Well, let's see.
Second time is the charm. It looks like We have a replay.
Oh my god, it's working. Oh,
Hell yeah. So we see in this, it looked like Ant's got that kill in real time, but Jay able to help his teammate out when he couldn't make it himself. He's back on a beautiful flank timer, taken down so low from the early play. Another kill looked like went to Ant, but actually Jay sniping all those kills. He was able to take them instead. The third round for Lodestar, as we point out, and it's now coming in as the A aggression for Pirox. They want to go here fast.
this time
Only
very
the half
opposite
eye.
from the first round. Everyone pushing A, but no defenders.
No defenders here to meet them. Lodestar thinking that their Raze had done her job, forcing them out of the A site so often. It's going to be the counter aggression on the C site. They're pushing into nothing right now as Reedcat, once again, the solo anchor on this site. He's forced to just disengage. His shear has been triggered. He has the thorns. He has the ability to slow down this push. Is it going to be enough, however, as now he's back, is on the perfect timing to get into this position. He has the huge sightline right the way down, but they're not peeking him right now. I don't think they know about this Neon close in the close smoke. Reedcat has managed to sneak on past. There comes the fight. He's back, finds the Neon somehow. Pontiban gets taken out. A huge trade back. Reedcat gets to himself. A third goes over to Ants. And suddenly this round, which was looking promising on the half bay, completely dismantled. And there goes the final as well. Jay gets the final kill. He's looking very good himself this game. I Can't Cope does fall, but a very solid round once more for Lodestar.
Hopefully there's many more to come. I'm starting to see a very big difference between Lodestar and Pirox, to be fair. And I think it's going to be hard for Pirox to come back, maybe in the second half? But even then...
Remember, you had to remember, they chose this side. They chose to be the attackers on this map. They came in to Lotus knowing they had to get something.
But it's not looking good for them so far.
It's really not.
I think maybe they picked badly. Or maybe they want to give Lodestar a very good confidence boost. Just to trick them.
Let's have a look at this 6th round. As it progresses, more A aggression coming out. It is seeming like Lodestar are just happy to play retake. The smokes are able to delay. It feels like they can't really push in right now. They're going to go through the tree room instead. There's a wall ready from the Vice. There are traps all over the place. There comes the wall. Locks away the breach, but he isn't going to peek on anything there. Reedcat just hiding around the corner. Very similar round to the round before, but this time no picks either way just yet. And here comes the ultimate out of the Vice. Everything's gone wrong in my head. Asta is back alive once more. Clove using the ultimate, but it's a 2v4. He's going to have to go look for a pick. Nemo finds one instead. Suddenly it's a 2v3 the other way. I don't quite know how this has happened. Ants is stunned up on the corner. Reedcat finds Pontibang, but he's going to get shot in the side of the head. And suddenly it's Pirox taking the round down. I got lost in that one.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
And that's because we didn't really expect that firepower from Pirox. They just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
They just
Pirox.
proved me wrong.
Slow walk up and it worked the second time. Didn't work the first. Let's see if they go for third time, being the charm as well.
Third time's the charm never works for Pirox. We've seen from previous games, they only get a max of 2 against Lodestar guys. Let's not think that good.
That's a bold prediction. That's a bold prediction. Only 2 when it's already 4-2. Looks like a bit more of a default coming out. And here comes the aggression. This time, Lodestar wanting to take A lane for themselves. This is what the util of the Raze allows. The Teo able to assist as well with the damage to the back of site. However, no one is there to receive it. Pirox trading instead. Looking to take C main control, but I Can't Cope. Definitely can hit those headshots. 3 players defending the B site right now for Lodestar, and they're going to go in with the drone on the angle. They have the info. I Can't Cope has sneaked through the smoke. Does Az to find it in time? No, he doesn't. I Can't Cope gets a second.
Well, that was pretty insane. He just went past without them knowing. Like, what? Info?
Yeah. Info definitely heard, and there is the trigger finally on the wall. Doesn't quite catch the Neon out. They left a little bit of space to go looking for this. The Fade ult not going to find anyone either. Potentially a little bit of an overinvestment right now. Lodestar, in the 5v3, they don't need to be using these ultimates to really push for these picks right now. They have an amazing position on this A site, as evidenced by the fact that Jay is up on the high position. He gets stunned out and killed, though. But here comes, instead, the showstopper. Finds one, finds two, finds three. Instant headshots in the final two. A beautiful solo play, and he is definitely back.
And you know what we're going to get, chat? Chat, we're going to get a nice replay on that, because that was actually amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Give me that replay. I don't know. Give me that replay. Unfortunate for Jay on this high position. Had a beautiful a little hidey hole. Threw out the blind. It hit perfectly, but the stun from the breach was just enough. But there comes. He is back with the double headshot sprayed out after the showstopper. Gets that primary out just in time. And they're going to look for this aggression once more on the A site. But once more, no one here to receive it. Pirox going to execute onto the B site. Neon right the way through. An ultimate invested in, honestly, quite the surprising round to use it. No real reason to use it on the here, and they get punished as well. I can't cope. Once more with an early pick into these rounds. And now Jay is already into the back of site. Ants is peeking. Jay gets a second. And it's, obviously this was just an eco. So it's not exactly expected for Lodestar to get the win on this. But, so not expected for Pirox to get the win on this round. But a very clean round. Everyone keeps all their rifles alive. Lodestar up to 6.
That was a very quick round this time indeed. Not replay worthy, because I think it would take the same amount of time as a round. But I see Pirox coming back from this. I know I said they only get max 2, but like, let's hope.
They can get a bit. They can get a little bit.
Exactly.
Lodestar have started this game out as they mean to go on. 6 out of the first 8. A very confident start to this game. Unfortunately, no 13-0 is on the table though, and I believe I'm going to dox from earlier. I believe you said you say 87% of a 26-0. Did I hear that from you earlier?
I think you did actually.
Wow. Right, it looks like we've hit the 13% pretty hard. The 13% has been hit, and it wasn't exactly difficult. They got it pretty early on. Third round was all they needed, and here comes the push onto C. This time, aggression is going to be met by aggression. The breach, flash, the omen, wine, but no picks for the Neon, and suddenly it goes 1 for 1, 2 for 2. The C site is open for business. And here comes a whole nother ultimate. No one there to receive this fade. Comes into the back of site. 3v3 likely to be the retake. Now the omen has the smoke here. Raze gonna go for the spam, and he gets the kill. This retake isn't even gonna happen. The spike will fall. Reware onto 2 HP, gets stunned by Teo. He's just gonna have to start spamming and hoping. But there is Ants to finish off his own kill. 1v3 for Nemo, and he is not enough. Peaking 1v2, he cannot get the kill. A 7th for Lodestar.
It was a 7th for Lodestar, and we can watch that again because I'm hearing from the heavens that we have a replay for you guys.
You are loving this replay feature, and I am so here for it. Here it comes once more. An amazing tag down onto Rua. He got so low, and he's just forced to start spamming. Hope he can hit the headshots. Ants is there to clean it up. And another kill taken off of Ants' crosshair. This time by the Raze instead of the Omen, but it's happened so often this round. This map, rather. Once more, aggression. Met with aggression on this C site. Gonna have to force the retreat out of Lodestar. A tag onto Jay is all Pirox is gonna get on the inferior weapon. They really need to find a pick. Otherwise, their early aggression will be for nothing. They're taking a whole lot of damage themselves. So much of their util already used as well. As Jay is going to send the blind in. I can't cope. Only going to go 1 for 1. Jay gets a trade kill back, so it's now a 2 for 1 overall. And he's going to get stunned up. This should be another kill. 2 for 2. And this time it might actually be a retake. If they plant the spike. Hint, hint. Plant the spike. Thank you.
They've listened to you.
Spike planted.
Here comes Teo, Vice, and Raze. Can they retake into this? Lodestar looking for the 8th. If they can, it would be beautiful. If they can't, a Thrifty will be there for Pirox. Guns more than available. They've already picked up 2, and Pontebang has used one of those fallen weapons to get another kill into this round. Ants gets a trade. He is super low, and Rua doesn't care how much HP he has. He just headshotted the guy with the Sheriff. He does not give a damn right now. He's back in the 1v2. He heard the Neon repositioning. He has a Raze charge. He's going to get tagged a little bit. 1 bullet. All that finds its mark. Gonna look to defuse this halfway, but now comes the peak. The sliding Neon gets the kill. 2 guns gonna be saved as well. Pirox with an eco round.
That was really well played from Pirox, to be fair. I didn't expect them to hit that hard with what they had.
But they did. They managed to find a way through. Lodestar, I wouldn't say an impenetrable defense because they've had some rounds that they've lost, but it has been formidable, at least. A very solid start to this game, but little holes in their armor that Pirox have been able to find a couple ways in, especially on those inferior weapons they just used in that round. They now kind of set up their economy for the rest of this half.
Well, they're going in with a slow push this time.
Yeah, no aggression to be met this time. But here comes the push now. The Omen uses the blind. It's going to force the retreat. Rue can't get out in time. Pontebang on the Neon is able to run much, much faster, and he is able to escape. But it is a free pick on the side of Lodestar. A beautiful counterplay. They heard people moving around the footsteps on the C site, and it enabled that counter push timer. It is a large commitment. It's going to force them to play retake into this. This is by no means a one round, even with that pick.
Thorns activated.
Here comes that plant to make it that retake position. Breach, ult, traded for Fade. Gonna force them back on the side of Lodestar, but he's back is on the perfect flank timing. This hasn't been heard just yet, but when the tree room door opens, it will most certainly be heard. But now you can't stay in the tree room anymore. Teowalt gonna force people out. Omen, TP's back so he can go back in, and somehow it's down to a 1v1, I think. 1v2, sorry. Nemo isolating the fight with he's back, but here comes the defuse instead. He doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know where to look. I can't cope. Gets the final kill. Pirox unable to convert going into this final round.
Another win for Lodestar, putting them at a very close edge of 9-3? No, 8-3 even. Maybe if they win one more round, but we all know what that means. It will go into a 9-3 curse. We don't like
No
this.
one wants that 9-3 curse.
9-3
Maybe
curse
Lodestar
is
should throw this one.
I think
Maybe
they
that's the
should.
play.
But then it ruins
think
my
that's the play.
prediction. I said they wouldn't get more than 2. That means they would
They've
get
already
4.
got more than 2. They've already got
Maybe.
3. That's more than 2.
But I don't want them to go double.
When you pick a number as low as 2, double's pretty easy suddenly. Let's see what Lodestar can do in this final round. They're going to have the aggression onto the A site this time, and it's going to be met by a whole lot of players. The nades, the stuns, all of the damage coming through, and somehow he's back is the first casualty in this round. Pontebang with a lovely angle to find the headshot. A key pick into this 12th round, the final of the half, and the more peaks come through, the worse it gets for Lodestar. The only person they've been able to find the kill on is the person that can resurrect themselves, and they will finally go down the second time. Jay will get that kill in the round, but it doesn't matter. Pirox already have found 3 back the other direction. Jay got traded. Pontebang's found a 3rd in this round, and suddenly it's all left alone on Recat, who does get 2 back. A 1v4 very quickly turned into a 1v2, and suddenly no one in that circle able to use their primary weapon, but Z-King able to escape the circle. He has the perfect weapon for the job, but he gets his head taken clean off. Down to Rue, 1v1. Recat, the plant is perfect for Rue right now. It is so open. Recat can expect this is where the Viper, the Fade will be coming from. Prowler invested. Keeping on tapping, just going to send out all this util to keep him off the spike. If he wants to stay on it, it's going to cost him so much time. So much of his everything going to be invested to try and get this defuse. And now Pirox is just playing with him. Rua, with the classic, picks up a 4th and...
Switching sides.
And I think my fellow caster just died. So, you have me now. Oh, he's died for the stream, but not in Discord. I can hear him in my ear. So hopefully he can reconnect and we can sort that out. But as we just saw there, Fade was playing around with him in all sorts of ways. And they didn't... Pirox got the win. They actually managed to double it up for once. Which hopefully we don't see again. Because we don't need that. And hopefully if my fellow caster can speak to me. No, you can't, but it might be better if you reconnect to the call. Anyways, we see Lodestar slowly pushing up B site. Only with Omen there, and everyone else is around the site. Oh, this is a fast push. Omen is already peeking. Picks one now.
Spike down B.
Oh. Fade slowly hiding away.
Down to a 44 already. Rua through the smoke. I hope people can hear me once more.
Yes, they can.
There we go. A 2v4 that Lodestar have found themselves in. They have the plant, sure, but it's on the easier to retake site, and Zeking on the perfect timing, but gets killed. Somehow he doesn't get the kill with the classic. He's back, has found 2, but that will be all he can find. A 5th already for Pirox.
I'm not liking this. I think this is going to be a closer game than what we saw since before. From what we had heard, in the last 4 games in this matchup, Pirox had only got a max of 6 rounds. They're almost hitting that again in just 1 match. I think they're going to start struggling.
You think now is the turning point? You've been proclaiming the end of the world for us. Feel like a doomsday cult right now, consistently saying this will be the end. Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Just the pistols, 3 sheriffs, 2 classics. All that Lodestar are going to have in this one. They're going to play default, going to play slow, waiting for aggression, hoping the picks fall into their hands, as Pirox happy to play the wait game. They know which side of the map they're on. They don't need to push this, but he's back has found a beautiful timing. Asta does have the Bucky, though, so he is more than happy to wait.
Fade using her Utah, giving them a nice sign of information. But I don't think they're going to push it. They're still waiting around.
Yeah. Both sides more than happy to wait in this one. Lodestar hoping Pirox get a little bit impatient, but it doesn't look like that will be the case, as they're going to execute onto A site, and somehow Recap finds the first instantly. A beautiful shot on the Sheriff. Down to a 4v5 already, and they're going to force the breach out as well. As somehow, okay, here comes the return 4 for Nemo on the top side of the map. Finds all of them lining up with the Guardian. Cleans them out. A beautiful play from Nemo as it's finally down to the ace. There he goes. All 5 on the Omen. A wonderful play with that Guardian.
Definitely was. We didn't see most of the kills, but we definitely saw the impact from Pirox's Omen. Just with the Guardian. 3 headshots in a row.
All he needed there. A wonderful way to clear out that round. He's got the ultimate already, by the way. 15-11 is Nemo. A real bright spot on this Pirox team right now.
Oh, Lodestar are not going to commit to anything straight away. They're going to wait it out like they did last round.
Yeah. Pirox, on the other hand, happy to claim the map that has been given to them. They suspect on this default from Lodestar that they can't push up too far, but once they have this A main control, they don't want to go too much further. Looking across the rest of it, he's back, clearing out that corner. No one is allowed to stand behind that wall. Going back to the rest of the map, it's suddenly full silent. Pirox in a beautiful advanced position on this A site. C forced to play close and calm. And here comes Pontamang. The peak going to come in. The Teo Util going to force him off the angle. He's forced to adjust his crosshair. He can't get there in time. Recap, another pick on the Sentinel. He's looking absolutely on fire today.
Retrieving flash.
Down to just the 2 defenders that are on this site. Nemo and Zeking pushed out in the tree room. A second pick found for Lodestar. Looks like 9 heading their way. We get the perfect scoreline in the top left if it does happen. Nemo looking to force us into a 7-8 instead. He's going to get a great timing, but he can't find the damage. There are so many of them lining up right once more for that Guardians. Now the close angle, as to not able to find anything with that Bucky. It was super close, but not there. He's back with a third. Barely even saw him from the Omen's POV, but I guess there was more of an angle in that smoke from the Rays. A third kill in the round, and suddenly Rua left. 1v5. Everyone hiding in the tree room for Lodestar, as round 15 looks to be an absolute certainty.
I really like that from Lodestar. They were giving no chances to that fade. Oh, maybe the
Yeah.
Fate still has a
Speaking of
chance to
chances,
get
though,
an
she
easy
can get exits if she peeks on the right timing here. The decay hit perfectly. Gonna get one, but it will only be one. Jay steals another kill from Ants's crosshair. His crosshair has been in the right place for all of these kills. He just can't click as fast as his teammates.
Well, sometimes you just gotta get good. And sometimes that's the case with Lodestar. Since they have been losing simple rounds, I would say. Like that one eco right at the start.
Mm.
They're slowly...
I will say,
slowly
I
getting
don't mind them winning this round. This round is a great round for them to win. Just looking at the scoreboard at the top, it is perfect. I would like the game to end right now if it could, but I don't think that's quite going to be the plan of action as Pirox once more look to see if this A is just going to be given over free. This time, more people here if they choose to contest. The blind are going to go deep. The flash through the wall, but they peek early. It doesn't even matter. Ponteban gets another kill, and the flash, the stun, able to get his teammate out. Breach with some beautiful play. And Ponteban will go down in the extended play, though. Jay gets a pick back. Nemo going to be needed by his teammates. Breaks through the connector wall. Doesn't find anything. Ants with 2 back in this round. It's a 2v3 already.
Rip and tear.
I don't think Pirox are gonna push this.
They can't. I believe that is a Viper wall. Sorry, a Vice wall down in that A push. They knew from the start Lodestar were going to push through onto A. Zero hesitation from that attacking side. They wanted to go where they wanted to go. They were not going to be stopped by however many people they sent. And Pirox now unable to flank as Lodestar play the triple tree setup once more. This wasn't spotted out in the previous round, but it was suspected. The flash comes through. Azta just kind of forced to sit here and wait. Does have the tap on the defuse. He's going to get halfway, but here comes the Teo utility. Rearway pushes in, finds at least 2. Doesn't know about the third. Azta is too late, finds 2, but it won't get the third. Too late to defuse the spike anyway, and Jay survives 2 HP, just enough to escape the spike.
Well, it makes it 10-6 for Lodestar now, which,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is very good, since Lodestar stream, we gotta support the team, right? But I
Represent.
still think there's a very big chance Pirox can come back. We've seen them do it on eco runs. I'm sure they can do it again. And
Yeah.
we have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, this isn't even going to be an eco round. They're going to save as much as they can for the next, but they still have some good buys. Azta, with all those picks he has been getting recently, enough to afford a Phantom, as it is the delayed A play from Lodestar. Once more, playing to see if Pirox get a little bit too antsy, and a nice tag coming through rearway. Did that not even hit? That looked like a hit. I don't think I hit.
No, it did not.
That's crazy. I called it a tag before I even saw the damage go through. Astra on the perfect timing, finds one through the smoke, pushes through even deeper, and that will be his comeuppance. I can't cope. Yet again, his name fills the feed as the map goes silent once more. No kills extra to be found, but here comes the fight. Z-King with just a stinger, fighting at long range. He doesn't want to fight it right now. Wondering, does he want to go classic? Does he want to go stinger? Either way, he's pushing into a Vandal. Gonna send out his duelist first instead on the Sheriff. The one-tap potential is more than certainly there, but the spike definitely is not planted right now. Pirox, they can play the wait game here. They're not the team that has to plant the spike. They have them locked into A. LSE forced to move, and here comes the move on to the spike. There it goes. A site is theirs for the taking. One remaining will fall. Reedcat able to hold off that flank, and Ants with beautiful aggression, finally pushing out of that tree room at the perfect time. An 11th on for Lodestar.
I think that was really perfect in their positioning to actually make that comeback. And
Yeah.
those nice shots from Reedcat really pulled everything off together, pulling off the 2 kills right at the end.
Yeah. Finds the one with the early headshot. Finds the second with the spray. Not always the most consistent in this game. But finds a way to make it work as we head on to a potential penultimate round. If Lodestar finish this one, this is going to be the easiest time right now, I think, for Lodestar to really close this map out. One full buy for Pirox, and then a half buy is all they had to play up against. Pontebank forced to play forward as we cut away. He's not going to escape from this. Ants with another pick. Once more, he cannot stop finding entries right now. All the kills that he hasn't got are only because his teammates taken them away from him. Everything else he is finding and he is converting. Lodestar seem happy to play in the quiet, in these weird moments of the round where nothing feels like it's happening. Pirox, on the other hand, they feel a little bit antsy. They feel a little bit nervous right now. Lodestar playing the mind games, playing the waiting game. They know they still have 40 seconds to get that spike down. And here we've seen already the ultimate from the Fade already used for literally nothing. Riwa doesn't need his ultimate though. He has bullets in his mag. A kill with the Phantom, and now Nemo is tucked into Tree Room. With the smoke on the door, they're not going to be able to push through this way, and instead, Riwa going to get pushed onto the B site, but Zeking at the back of site is there. Asta is also in the heavens. He won't get smoked off on this. He has beautiful timing. The breach flash comes through. The ultimate not able to deny the plant, but the peek out of heaven should be enough. Asta gets 2. Nemo gets the final and a 7th on the board for Pirox.
That was actually a really nice round from Pirox. Wait, I was distracted that time. I thought Lodestar had won this. Damn.
Defending doesn't mean they can't stop playing the game. Pirox show up big time. A little bit delayed on the util, but came through just at the right time. The flash was beautiful. Asta couldn't have tried to mess up the kill if he wanted to, and it looked like he did try, I'll be honest. But his teammates there to pick up the slack. A 7th round on the board. Did cost some ultimates, the Fade and the Breach, both having to use theirs. But in the long scheme of things, not the worst. They still have a couple more to use. Neon, super close to hers as well. We know how potent that can be. Early util now going to come in. Teo already forcing everyone away. Pirox cannot stick around too long. Pontabang going to get forced out by He's Max Nade. And now here comes the showstopper. He's going to be looking into the back of sight, but there's no one there to catch this massive rocket as it comes in. They know Breach is in the area with that flash, but they're going to play off the angles because of that showstopper. It's going to give them the plant, but it will be a 5v5 retake. Pirox forced to push into 5 different attackers. This is not an easy round.
No, it is not. But it's Valorant. Realistically, it's never an easy round.
If anyone can do it, this Pirox team can, but they can't find the first. He's back on the close angle. A beautiful kill with the Bucky. Asta got taken out. He doesn't care. He's going to respawn as the Clove. He has to find a kill or something soon. He knows He's back on this corner angle. Will get that kill. Overheals, but dies instantly back instead. Only goes 1 for 1 himself, but here comes the smoke diffuse. Not able to find anything. Teo ult did go down there, so that isn't going to be there for the rest of this. Vice as well. A couple of ults going to be used, but they're there to be used. Map point 5 in a row now required for Pirox to stay alive in this map 1.
In my opinion, I don't think they really needed to use that Taser ult. Simply just because I think they would have got the win anyways.
No, I think they did before it even got to be placed down. It was a bit unfortunate, but it did secure them that round.
But now they don't have one, so we can only see
That's also true.
What they will do. They still have 2 bolts.
They no longer have the artillery, but they do have very superior weaponry right now. Only 1 premium rifle on the board, on the scoreboard right now. Nemo, the sole piloter of that insane Vandal. But here comes the push. All of them are here to catch this. Ants gets 2. He has been so clinical at denying all of these plays. Peeking, Zeking, only able to get 1. Nemo, only 1 themselves. And finally, it is a 1v3 Asta to save the map. And there, the wall is triggered. They know where he is. The plant is completely free. They might even look to play CT, play Waterfall. They can play wherever they want. They're going to play the double angle. It's near impossible right now. He has found a Rogue Vandal on the ground. So at least he has the weaponry. But everything else is just against him right now. The Thorns coming out. The second rotation of that spell. Left alone. Full util is there. The smoke on the CT makes this a little bit uncomfortable now. Lodestar just going to wait for the defuse before they spam all of their magazines into where they think that spike is. Hopefully for them, they will be able to clear this out. The tap comes through. just a bait. Asta on the close angle finds one, but it is now too little, too late. The peak comes in. The kill for Recap finishes it off. Lodestar 13-7 on the first map.
Well, that game was definitely something.
That was something. It was one of the games of Valorant that you have definitely watched in your life. A pretty close one, all things considered, especially considering someone's certain prediction earlier of 26-0. You're not living that down.
No,
A respectable performance from Pirox. Unfortunately, not quite living up to their title as the 1 seed coming in. That is their first map loss of the SOL Div 2. We will be back after a short little break to have a look through, come back into this with some new eyes, see what happens on this map too. We'll be back in just a bit. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the SOL Div 2. I am still Rue. I'm still joined by Tangerine. How are we feeling after that first map? How are your predictions feeling after that first map?
Well, everyone's prediction so far is correct.
Exactly. You can never be wrong.
I feel like yours is going to be incorrect after this match, but that's besides the
Might
point.
be. It's right for now, though.
Yes,
I mean, how close that map was, I'm feeling okay. I'm not going to say I'm confident, but that was Lodestar's map pick.
You
And
make a good
Pirox
point.
still able to get seven rounds on that map. It's not out of the it's not out of question of reality. Like it's possible. It's very, very possible that they do find a way to get this second map. We will have to see what happens. Of course, we cannot say all too much before the players start clicking heads, which will be happening in just a few minutes. Is there anything you really want to look out for coming into the second game?
I really have no expectations anymore. I thought this was going to be an easy sweep for Lodestar, but Pirox this time are seeming to be a little bit of a challenge, so I want to see how they change things up, since I haven't really seen them on Ascent either way.
Yeah. And Ascent, only a recent addition back into the map pool. They've made Riot made a couple of changes, I believe, just 1 or 2 patches ago, bringing in some of the old maps back into the forefront. Icebox among them too. So it's good to see some of these old maps coming back in. I do like to see it. But going into this one now, it's a map that a lot of teams might have disregarded and said, you know what, we don't need this map, right? We don't need to be here. Coming in, it had been out for since the start of the year. Ascent back in. It wasn't gone for long. It didn't take much to bring it back in. But Icebox had been out for about 1.5 years already. So it's interesting to see how teams can adapt to these.
Sorry, I was reading the chat because the players seem to be ready in the lobby, but they don't seem to
Hell
be ready
yeah.
on Challenger mode. So I think they're just going to quickly fix that, and then we can get straight into the game, I hope.
Hopefully, will not be too much longer now. But yeah, as
Oh,
you
they've
say, it's
all readied up now.
there we go. Straight away. The second we even think of mentioning it, they are ready, raring to go. I am so excited to get into this now. We are looking at Ascent for this. Once again, the side selection a little bit different. Usually you see one team starting one side, starting the other team. This time, it's going to be once more Lodestar starting on the defender side as we look to see what people are going to be going with in their champ agent select. Rather, this is not League of Legends. This is Valorant, a game with a modicum of respect, some would say.
I don't know, League of Legends is kind of washed. But I cannot say that
Ooh, hot
because
take.
we have a very good League of Legends team that plays every Monday and Sunday. If anyone wants to watch
Yeah,
it.
I can't believe that my ears just heard that. League esports is where it's at. League playing it is not where it's at, but watching it is so interesting. So many macro decisions. So many macro decisions also in the game of Valorant, though. Micro decisions, of course. How you aim your crosshair, how you click, where you place your util starts coming to more of that macro idea. Where do you want to execute? How do you want to take the map? Where are the openings that are going to be somewhere on this defender side? Are there going to be any openings at all for these attackers to push in? Pirox going to have to find some holes somewhere. But when you're pushing into something like the Vice Omen, it's not going to be easy. On the other side, Killjoy Omen taken for their own attacking side. Double Initiator taken by Pirox. Double Duelist taken for Lodestar. How do we feel about the slight differences in team comp?
I don't know. I'm actually liking this. We have he's back on a Jet,
As he
and
should
we
be.
have a Sova, which I really like seeing on Ascent.
Mirrored
It-
Sova.
Exactly. That's what's gonna make this game spicy. But overall, I think it's gonna be a very good team comp, and I think this game will cook. I
Could
think it
well
will be close
be.
again.
I have been kicked out of Valorant and I can't see the game. So this could be interesting. I'm currently casting a grey screen. Hopefully you can lead us through this first piss round.
Hopefully, well, you load that up and it fixes itself.
There we go. I can at least see what you can see, so we'll go with that for
okay,
now.
that's fine.
Looks
Well-
like 4 aggressive over towards A for Pirox. Oh, over towards B, sorry. Maps.
Jet is pushing in aggressively. He's back. Misses all his shots. Omen takes a blind. Oh, that's a nice shot from
Doesn't
He's
miss
back.
that one, though. Doesn't miss all of them in the end. He will find one eventually if you let him have his way. Jay now with the smoke, able to utilize this early man advantage that they have found themselves in. On the other side, Sova pushing very, very deep already into A, trying to find something that isn't quite showing. The Vice not quite there to be found just yet, as the attackers start to creep back over towards mid. There is a hidden Sova though. I can't cope. Stuck in a corner on Catwalk. The ISO holding down mid as well. Ants with a Sheriff. A dangerous fight for people to be taking right now.
It seems like Pirox are
Sova's
now
push
going
right the way
over
up
to
A. I don't quite know how he's managed to get here. The push on Cat is denied. He's back, finds 3 total in the round already. On for an ace, potentially. Ants, no, denies that. The kill on the B site. As it looks like the knife was attempted there for a second. The Sova does get punished. I can't cope. Doesn't get to survive the round, but the Jet of he is back with a quadra.
See, I knew it. He's back on Jet. It's just like second nature. You just expect a really good game. I think he hit Radiant at 16 years old. Like, what else can
Yeah,
you
he's a little
expect
bit
from this
cracked.
guy?
He's a little bit cracked. It's kind of unfair. Some people will call it unfair. I don't think you'd be able to like disagree because that is quite nasty. Being able to do that at such a young age says a lot about a guy. On the Sheriff, more than enough to get that first round for his team. 4 kills, as I said. Now looking over towards mid. I can't cope. Is super close. Gonna shock dart himself out of here, but he might be a little bit too late. Gonna get run down, but he somehow finds the kill. His classic best Pontibangs, and somehow, some way, I can't cope. Holds down the Catwalk. Meanwhile, Jay pushes B and gets punished. Atza on the corner, but traded. He's back, not messing about at all with the Sheriff right now. 5 kills in 2 rounds. Looking for another. Finds it. As Nemo walks straight into his crosshair. Beautiful crosshair placement.
We see that breach about to be peeked by Jet.
He's tucked in on this corner. He can suspect this as an angle. There comes the peek. A third. Can he get 4 again, or is the Sova going to be claimed by someone else? The double tap. Ants looking to push round. They know where this spike is. Sova on the timing. Pushes through. What's going to happen here? I can't cope with the Sheriff. 2 for him, 3 for the Jet. He is back, and he is so back.
Compared to last game, he's already 7-0. Last game, there were a couple deaths on the board by the time he hit that.
Last game was a little bit rough, but if he managed to grab a single ultimate orb, he can already have those knives available in the 3rd round. It's a crazy place to find yourself on this defender side Jet, which is not really the side of Jet you expect to be popping off as much as it is. But this B aggression is so controlled, but it's working every time for them. And here it comes again with the Omen blind. Gonna go for the spam on the corner. No one there to receive it this time. Gonna be forced out. Finally, a little bit something to punish. As Jay instead gets tagged. They know that there's at least one other person. He can't have thrown that blind and also peeked. So there's at least one more towards the B side. And they're just going to force a disengage themselves. They find themselves so much space up. Catwalk. And there's the kill already. Ants on the ISO. Eliminated from the round. And away into this very early on now for Pirox.
I see the
Unfortunately for them.
Look at that
Yeah.
killjoy.
Unfortunately for Pirox, this has already been met in the rotations. He's back with the ultimate. I can't cope with a beautiful close-range Sheriff shot. He's back. Might even push this smoke right now. He is absolutely feeling it. He doesn't know he's going to get shot in the back, though. Nemo, a nice position, tucked in the corner. Finds a second. Won't get any more as Jay on the close stinger, rather, with enough to delay into the 2v2. They know at least one more is over here. Lodestar might even have just heard. Asta was right there to hear that Outlaw fire. They heard Stinger, they heard Outlaw. They're just going to send it B, and now they got the Killjoy on the perfect flank, but it might even be somehow too early Z-King
I don't think they
takes the
realize what's
plant.
happening.
Spike planted.
They're working out now. The spike definitely is not planted today anymore. They're going to walk it together. Killjoy, so much util ready, waiting. Open arms for this defender side. There is the spot. The turret gets destroyed. Jay and his teammate of Redcat, who was so proficient on that Vice game 1, hasn't had anything to do game 2. He's literally just sat around for 1 assist so far. The push is going to come in the 2v2. A beautiful stun from the back of the site, and Asta cleans up the rest. His breach sets him up perfectly. Z-King gets one on the board with the help of his Killjoy, and that is the first round for Pirox.
Pirox clearly showing their skill again. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe the first death on the board for he's back again. Looking sick.
Yeah. 1 death,
Only-
all it required. He has already, though, been handed over an operator to work with.
Well,
On
you
the
know,
jet,
the best
and-
combo on this map.
there are 2 people here waiting to receive this operator. It looks like he's not going to be the one pushing in just yet, but he's going to go on the slow peak. 1 up high, 1 down below, and they get the headshot before he can even fire a bullet. A beautiful pick in here from Asta, completely nullifying this aggression that's come in every single round on this B main push. Finally, it gets dealt with.
We're seeing Lodestar get a little bit impatient with that ISO and Vice about to push.
Yeah, they have the perfect weaponry for this. Ants on the close angle. He's going to find the Omen a little bit too far out of position, but he has a beautiful timing. Recat gets both. 8 HP, all he has left. Now, I Can't Cope, stuck in the heavens, looking to save his Vice. Should be able to get them out of there just in time, as the A site looks to be the option of choice right now. Exactly where they want to end this, do Pirox. The spike, however, is stuck in main, and the jet is getting flanked in heaven. Not going to find Jay in time. Omen
30 seconds
gets one back, a 2v2, but they know that was the Omen. That was the rotator that got the flank kill on the jet. He came here early. The Sova was already on this site. If we can get through mid, B is ours. I think that was a spot there. Jay definitely saw the Killjoy.
10
Early
seconds
plant
left.
going to be taken. The door is closed.
Spike planted.
Another 2v2 retake into the guns. It happened once for Pirox. Can they do it a second time? Smoke off on B main. No one there to receive it. They're going to push on the timing. Only one through the body of the Sova goes the Killjoy down. Sova survives. Rua, not a whole lot of HP, but just enough to get the kills, get the round over the line, and that has broken the economy now of Lodestar Esports.
I think we're going to see Pirox taking the advantage this time. They're just being the really dominant team these past 2 rounds. And it's looking a bit unfair for Lodestar.
Could say that. I mean, this round, I always felt it was a little bit harsh in games like Counter-Strike when they sent out these, counter-terrorists, these cops, to try and defend a whole bunch of terrorists, and they have some pistols against some fully automatic rifles. This feels like another one of those rounds. They have 5 sheriffs into a whole lot of rifles. It can be done. If anyone can do it, I think the way that He's Back has started this map, definitely an option. But it's a disgusting little angle that Nemo has found himself in here. The teleport used to just get on this insane angle. A push is no longer an option. B push always has been an option. And it will come through once more. But there are 2 more players here to receive. Asta, once again, the alarm bot has been triggered. He does get one. Transferred his crosshair perfectly. The second not there to be found just yet. But the catwalk push is coming through. The jet finding the ISO on the angle. ISO gonna just have to disengage. Door could go up, and this is now an awkward position. The headshot, though, the double tap, enough to keep Ants alive. Hits his own shot. Asta gets the second. Rue finally removes the absolute burden that was that ISO. And finally, Z-King finds Recats in his odd position. Will go down a 3rd round, but a costly one in some regards.
Maybe. However, they were on a very big eco. You could see the difference. You really could. However, there was still really
Another
good plays from
operator.
ISO, as you see here.
Yeah.
And it just shows the power Pirox have over Lodestar this game.
This is why they're chosen in the map hit. They are very comfortable playing on these close, kind of contested corridors. But the other thing with Ascent is that there are these massive, long sight lines. He's back on the operator. Gonna have to shoot out. The unfortunate usage of the operator. He's forced away. Is able to escape the Hunter's Fury, but he will get chased down and killed. Pontebang, jet on jet violence. Rifle against operator. Vandal is going to win that one out. And now Jay, forced to hold mid from a super passive angle. He is smoked off. And the cross is able to come through. A 4v5 for the defenders to hold, and it's not going to be easy right now. Brewer looks to get some info. Recon dart. Push through on the timing. He heard the arrow go through. Jay pushes the smoke, goes 1-for-1. Another 1-for-1 on the catwalk, but Nemo finds another kill somewhere. I don't even know how he found that. I don't even know where he found that, but he found another kill. Ant's now left alone on this site. Shot out through the smoke. Double tap is up, but he is going to get double destroyed. Looks to flick up for the double tap. He gets it back. 27 HP, not enough. 1v2 now. Can Recap pull through? One of them is super low, but they're both playing under heaven. It is the worst place for the attackers to be when you're coming out of heaven yourself. Suddenly Recap, he can suspect, but he has to try and kill both. He gets one. A valiant attempt, but not quite enough as Nemo gets the kill to end the 6th round. Another one heading over to Pirox. And here comes the timeout too.
We do see a timeout? Oh, we do. Okay. Well, as we see, do they have eco? Yes, they kind of do. However, I don't think they're going to completely fall by Lodestar.
I think if you start chasing your losses here, you start kind of trying to outrun a snowball that has already started rolling. If you keep going for these force buys where you don't quite have enough, you're always playing with inferior weaponry, especially on this defender side. It can be so punishing when you don't have something like the heavy shields. Azta is using a Phantom right now. If you're only using light shields, you can still get one tap, and the increased rate of fire is so potent. You have to be careful. You have to be buying correctly. If you start forcing these rounds that you're not meant to force in, it will only hurt you in the long run. I think they have to take an eco here.
Oh, and it was them who actually took the timeout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 4 rounds in a row. I thought Pirox would have been happy to let this one go through, keep that momentum going. But yeah, forced out of Lodestar is that first time out. And it's understandable. They have to.
Yeah, I don't see them winning any other way, realistically. They've already been going it rough. These last 4 rounds, they were 2-0 up. Eastback still hasn't got a kill in the last 4 rounds.
He hasn't got a kill in the... I think he got one at the start of the third, then he died, I believe. He was 7-0 through the first 2. A quadra, then a triple. But now comes... They do go for the full investment. This could be absolutely, like, back-breaking. Heart-wrenching if they lose this round. I can't cope. Just looking to jump spot out of mid. See if there's anyone moving. But there's no one there to be found. Full mid control handed over. 8 ultimates also up and available on the map. Only one that's down for our defenders. The Lodestar team is that Jet ultimate we already saw used. On the other side, Hunter's Fury, once again, used in a previous round. Now we are down to the 5v5. Halfway through this round, they're going to just go for the spam. Sova gets a good spot out. 2 of them were spotted. And now the ultimates get used. Reedcat, his position is known. Omen ult invested for that information, and Reedcat now forced to push out. Half HP, the Jet is behind him, but somehow Reedcat gets the kill. Both of them were blinded, and the Vice is able to find that kill. Somehow, someway, he makes it work. I Can't Cope now over the top, gets another. Reedcat gets another. I Can't Cope gets a second, and it's instantly a flawless round coming out from the Lodestar defense on a must-win round.
Ability, dedication, time.
That was very close. Very close game, actually. Even though, sure, it went very fast. I think if they actually managed to get on site, maybe if the Omen didn't full blind their jet,
Yeah,
would've been
that
an
would have
easy
been
kill.
useful. Yeah, if the jet could see where she was shooting, it would have been useful.
Oh, very strange how the Vice didn't get full blinded, but that jet did.
Not quite the right angles spotted there. Knives instantly used in this one. Pontabang doesn't feel the need to go buying anything but those heavy shields when he has the one-shot headshot potential from his ultimate. Let's see if he can pull it through. Looking to push up Catwalk himself. Going to be the Omen on the other side. Just Jay to receive a whole lot of damage coming his way. On the jiggle, he has the ability to disengage here. He's going to have to, though, because he's 1v3 right now. And here comes the blind as well. Goes through. No damage traded either way. He's going to push in. He's absolutely psycho. The blind was perfect. Doesn't find the kills. And now comes the damage through. Riwe. Oh, my God. Ants, that was nasty onto Pontibang. Knives instantly eliminated. He's back. Spots out the shoulder. Doesn't get a kill for 3 rounds. It does not bother him. Down now. 2v4. The full investment. Well, the half investment, sorry. From Pirox is getting kind of destroyed, if I'm being honest. Riwe and Atza, the 2 top frags currently on this map, left alone. 2v4. Can they get it done together? 30 seconds to push into one of these 2 sites. Unfortunately, A seems to be the site of choice, and there is a whole lot of people here ready to meet them. Ants gets a 3rd for the round. Asta now forced to push into the ISO. It's not a fun place to be. Does get the first. 15 seconds to go die, though. He doesn't have time to plant. He's back with a beautiful 1-tap. 2 for the round for him. 3 for the ISO. The duelist collect all 5.
Oh boy, am I loving his name. He's back. Is back this game.
I hate his name.
Straight after that round, 2 kills. Like, I think he's back.
Yeah, I also think that he is cool. He's back as well. That's what you're saying, right? He's.
It's like amazing analysis
hate
from
it.
my side,
I
but
hate
he's
it.
back, guys. He's back. At least
That
better
is his
than
name.
Pontebang.
Yeah. Pontebang has got the best of this a couple times, but not this round. Maybe it will happen this time as the Hunter's Fury going to be finding him. He doesn't even get a chance to prove himself in the Jet 1v1. The Hunter's Fury, a beautiful positioning. Standing in the defender spawn, and Jay through the smoke. That is absolute filth. Get that out of the game. Get out of here with that. A 3v4 now. I can't cope with the Owl Drone. Gonna go for the shock dart on the corner. Riwa tagged down a good chunk there from I can't cope. Now, with the recon dart as well. The wall has been triggered. Sova stuck on the wrong side of the map. It is now just a 2v3 to defend, but the other 2 are so quickly flanking. Sova might get caught in the back in mid. It looks like he will. Yet he's back once more. The fast push on A with his friend. And now 2 players left alone. They know exactly where they are. They have to be in B main. Able to TP onto the site, sure. But there comes the head. A pixel spotting is all the Sova needs. I can't cope with another triple kill. And suddenly Lodestar right back in the ascendancy.
Well, you know what else I can't cope with? I can't cope with Lodestar losing any more rounds, and that's exactly
cope
what
with his
they're
name either.
avoiding. Because
I would like a petition to change all of the Lodestar names, apart from Ants. Ants is a cool name.
they have won the last 3 rounds, which is very good. And we're starting to see a lot of dips from Pontabang. Still on 3 kills, going 3 and 9. It's not very good.
It's not the best, but he did win when it was rifle against operator, but he has lost once more. Rua does trade him out though. They don't know about the ISO on the close corner. He will get one at the minimum. The second, no, not available. Jay pushes right the way through with the blind. Down to a 1v2. This is not the best situation, but on a half buy, you've removed 3 rifles already. However, I think it's probably a little bit too late to be worrying about the economy right now. So many credits still remaining in the bank. 7.3k on his back. He has so much to play with. Reedcat also still alive with 7 himself. They can play this 2v1 together. It's going to be difficult right now for Nemo. Any damage he can inflict is good damage. A round is even better.
don't think they're gonna know he's pushing A site.
They have
Oh.
the info of him pushing. If he went through a main, he
But
would have
no.
been spotted. But this is the
He's- oh.
absolute ultimate play. If he pushes right the way through CT, if he gets the
Fully
angle, he
healer.
doesn't quite see them though. He doesn't know where they are. Of course, he doesn't have the walls that we do. Instead, he thinks that they've gambled onto the B site. Now, with that smoke, they should have seen the angle that came out, but apparently they didn't. Now he will
They
make the
definitely heard
noise.
the shots.
Yeah, he had to make the noise when he was planting, so he didn't get heard dropping down. If there was anyone remaining on the site, stays out of sight of the owl drone. They know under heaven, very very safe. The blind comes through. They're not going to push on that timer though. The recon dart able to escape from it. If he wants to peek, it's not a great timing, but he's going to go for it, and he will go down. The 2v1 peek comes through. I can't cope. Cleanly taking out a 6th round now. But the full buy is going to come in the next, and this will really dictate the rest of the half.
I think that was a really interesting round. Most of it was very still, sure. But the second the Omen actually got onto the site, almost missing both of them in CT,
Yeah.
that was really...
I'm
shocking.
surprised that they didn't see the angle at which that smoke came through. I thought that smoke traveled like basically right through them. I thought they'd be on that A site like a couple of hawks, instantly ready to feast, but not quite there. There's now 6 already guaranteed for this defender side. 2 more up for grabs. Can they grab them both? Can they grab one? Or is it going to go the other way as the Jet? Already, he's back. The second time in this half, he's using these knives and he's going to be pushing once more. There are people for him to find too. Jay on the close angle. ISO, everyone is here. There's 3 people here looking to defend beat. Ants finds one on the other side. He's going to take... That was in the 1v1. Wow, I didn't even notice that. He stole the Jet in the 1v1 and he absolutely destroyed them in the Shadow Realm. Reedcats now gets one. Asta punishes the push, rather, but it is a 1v4. Breach left all alone. Z-King has a nice angle. He's found himself in a nice position here. I don't quite think he's going to find them in heaven. He knows that they're there. If he can get to the back of heaven, he can do some serious damage. I think now he's potentially being cleared out for, though. Looks like the Vice has just fallen off the angle. I would retract that statement. He's going to find one with the trigger discipline, but he's going to be spotted instantly. Traded out. Reedcat, the person he didn't quite execute in time. Jay dies for the info. 2 more ultimates now heading over into this final round of the half, and it's looking very good for Lodestar.
I don't know what's going on with the Reedcat, but I think Lodestar need to turn their headphones on, because there's a few sounds that they're missing out on, very crucially as well. Which could lead them to more information, which they don't want, apparently.
Yeah. What they also don't want is to be met once more on this B aggression. They're going to send 2 more duelists over that way with the help of the Omen Blind. They're going to go through at the perfect time. If they peek right now, Pontebang will be dead. Axia, Ants, Atza, everyone going down. I'm lost. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Pontebang, honestly, a worthy sacrifice at this point. He has not been performing. I can't cope. Saw a shoulder. He knows where the kill is. A beautiful flick to get that kill. And he can escape to a great positioning now. Recat, how has he found him in the middle of nowhere? A dink as well. The second kill. A anchor holding the site down. Now it is left alone. Nemo spotted. Goes down. He's back with the up. Doesn't even need the updraft. He can just run around the corner. 8th round. 6 in a row. The fact that there was no timeout called after 6 in a row is crazy.
Well, sometimes they don't need a timeout call. They just need to go with the vibe. Hope everything gets a little bit better. And now we have switched sides, so things are going to change.
Big time. The dynamic shifts. We've had 2 in a row to start off from Lodestar. Met by 4 in a row by Pirox. Met by 6 in a row. We're going to get 8 in a row now for Pirox. So they're going to go to 12. Is that the game plan? I don't know what the game plan is. What I do know is that there is a breach stun coming through, and they're going to push A with just Pontebang, trying to get him back onto the board, but I think the breach stun is a little bit too late. He's just going to be met by a whole lot of people. He does find one, takes a whole lot of damage, but here comes the trade through. He's back, has already pushed right the way up Catwalk, didn't get spotted, didn't get commed, and a double kill for the Frenzy. Now he's able to push into Heaven, takes the fight, disappears. After getting that double kill, gets a second dash. And suddenly, Jay, with the punish kill on Catwalk, the door closes. He's back, is able to push super deep. Killjoy left alone, 1v3, half HP. Not a fun place to be. He's going to get pushed right the way out. They might even look for the knife here if they want to be greedy with it. I think they will. Yes, they will. And there it comes. I can't cope with the movement. Oh, love that.
You know what else I love?
He stabbed him in the eye.
Yeah, but you know what else I love? I love the fact we have a replay.
Oh, yeah. Go on. Let's get a replay of him stabbing him in the eye.
Oh, Reed Cat is slowly going back down. Oh, there we go. 2 bunny hops and a shebang.
Shivved in the face. Nottingham living up. Living large. Knife crime at an all-time high in this ascent map once more. As now the mid pro is going to be contested. He's back again on the Outlaw. Doesn't find the second shot. Going to get blinded. This is a dirty fight happening right now. The CTs, the defenders, pushing right the way through. They're going to be taking pistol fights. Pistol v pistol. Finally, Z-King gets shot in the back of the head. Reedcat 2. Rearway gets 1. Down to a 1v2. A messy round. 1v1. Can he find the kill? No, he can't. Just the body shot as the Vandal will save the day. But 4 guns taken out of the hands of Lodestar. A pretty good round, all things considered, for Pirox. Not Xerox. Xerox is something else.
Yes, it is. Another thing I've noticed, Pirox have screwed up on my prediction again. I have 4 rounds. You don't just have 2.
Every time you count them out, they're just going to get a couple more to prove you wrong. They're not quite able to match the firepower so far of Lodestar. There's a whole lot of time left in this game, though. It's not over yet, but it is looking to become that way as somehow through the wall, Wimmer goes down. Another kill on Cat, and it's already a 3v5 in a round where Lodestar weren't even the heavy investors. Nemo will trade one back. Gonna send Jay away with the blind as well. He has a shadow to send them away from the A site, but I think they've overplayed this. You don't want them away from the A site. You're all rotated onto A. You want them to come meet you. Unfortunately, there is no one now to receive the B play, and they're going to have to basically play this 3v4 on the retake. As to Sat in the smoke has just faded, but there's a whole lot more ready to be found. Reedcat peeks his head out, but it won't get punished. Ants finds one through the smoke. The shock dart round the corner. They could go for another knife if they want to right now. I can't cope. Only has a sheriff to lose. I would respect it if he did, but it looks like the breach stun will deny that. When the smoke fades, they will look for the push. And there it comes. 1, 2. Trade it back straight away. As to limited in what he can do by the fact that there are 4 players looking daggers at him. An 11th. Already 9 in a row. Let me say that again. 9 rounds in a row and no timeout.
Maybe their confidence has just gone. They know what to expect. Maybe...
What's crazy, right? First half, we saw Pirox won 4 in a row. And instantly Lodestar said, that's enough. We're going to call timeout. We're going to reset. 9 in a row, you're not going to do the same? Don't like it. I don't like it. He's back already onto the A site. Pushes right the way through to Heaven. Nice jet movement to get up here. And he's going to find the Omen in rotation. Nothing to be done there. Going to get a tag somehow with that shotgun as well. Clearing out the window so he can try and push through with the knives. He isn't allowed to get anything more, but the rest of his team will pick up his slack. As to left alone 1v4. How many times have I said this? Make that 1v3 after a nice headshot. Does net him a kill. But there's so much util still to come through. The Sova drone And they might even look for yet another knife. ISO pulls him away. Ants versus Asta. The walls fall. Ants wins his 1v1 convincingly in the end. And a 12th map point on the board.
I think there was something I've never seen anyone actually do before, which I'm sure we can see in this. I've never actually seen someone go straight through the middle on the ISO wall. Normally it's only the sides, which I think gave them a very big deficit right there, and just didn't allow her to get the advantage she needed.
It was an act of desperation. Asta knew that if they were to be able to get the rest of that round, they had to do something very, very quickly. And speaking of very, very quickly, I think that was about half a second into this round. An instant kill and a second already. Nemo, finally, they punish. He's back. They get a pick on the very aggressive Jet. 2 kills already. The operator instantly finding value in this key swing round. Nemo with another. They don't know about Reedcat on the close angle, but I think Wira has his suspicions. He will look for the recon dart, but it failed to reach its target. He's going to run away. They think there's nothing else here. They're going to send it right the way back over to the A site, where there is a Z-King waiting, ready to receive. Redcat, Asta was on the A site. He was still ready. He still got the kill. A clean round heading over. Exactly what Pirox need. They just need to do that 7 more times.
Only 7. But I think after this, they now actually do have a bite. I think now would be the perfect time to call a timeout and see how things go. Sure, they just won. They still need to...
I think the timeout had to come many, many rounds ago. Now it feels like it's too little too late. You've already committed. Finally, Pontamang survives a round, but who knows what's going to happen as a result of this. I mean, timeout can't hurt at the same time. It's still probably good for you. As now, Pontabang, he did get a kill in that previous with his operator, but he's completely forced out of mid entirely. The util all used. Nemo finds the Jet on the angle once more. Nemo seems to be the only antidote right now. And suddenly, Ants has found himself right through CT. The whole site has been given up, but somehow Jay commits to the TP. He doesn't see the breach waiting for him to accept the from the shadows. I can't cope. Will indeed not cope. Reedcat falls too. A flawless round and a little bit of momentum now building.
I thought I was joking when I said maybe they just need to go with the vibe and not call a timeout to see if things start working, but...
When you win a round, you never want to call timeout. You have the vibes going in your favor. When you lose the rounds, like, I don't know, say 10 in a row. Sorry. 10 in a row. They didn't call timeout. Maybe then that's when you'd call the timeout. I don't know. Just saying.
Maybe, but now it's working out in their favor. Maybe. Does it stay for the next 6 rounds? I don't
They
think
have
so.
to win 6 in a row. There is 0 margin for error.
But at the same time, we also see Lodestar slowly going into a sticky situation with their economy.
Yeah. A sticky situation in their economy and also an awkward situation in this round. Jet unable to find the dash up to heaven and a nice recon dart as well. Rue able to get that kill through the smoke just because he had perfect vision from his own util. He's back in the heavens. Will win the Jet 1v1. Killjoy going to come down from the defenders. It's going to make this site very difficult to hold on to. He's back, goes out of heaven as well. The rest of them going to be forced to fall right the way out of sight, tucked into the corner on A main. A 3v3 now. 0 detained. They know they must be out of the sight. Omen on the overwatch from the heavens. The owl drone going to go through the smoke. They know that they're coming through. They've forced it through. And somehow, even though they have all the info they could ever want in the world, they are unable to get the kills. The bullets don't connect. Lodestar push through in an improbable 3v3 and they find the map. A 13-6 followed previously a 13-7, 26-13 on the day. A clean one in the end for Lodestar.
Well, that was a very intense game. We saw Lodestar starting to win with very impactful frags from He's Back. Straight after that, Pirox made a very good comeback, making it 4-4, and then they just lost 10 in a row.
Yeah, and they didn't call a timeout. I'm going to say it once more. They didn't call a timeout after losing 10 in a row. If you're not going to call it then, when are you ever going to use your timeouts? You're given 2 per game. Use them, please. I don't care if it makes us wait another minute. I would rather you have an actual chance at playing the game. Wake up and use the timeout. Ah!
But at the end of the day, did a 13-6. That's not too bad. That's worse than
it's
the
respectable.
First game. But
it is respectable overall. As I said before, 26-13 on the day. Lodestar are your best of 2 victors. They finally put a dent in Pirox's perfect run in the SOL Div 2. Now at 6-1, 12 maps won out of 14. Lodestar on the other end, 11 out of 12 won themselves. This is now shaping up to be a very interesting run into the playoffs.
Oh, and he's tied once
Not
again.
Ah!
Well, to carry on his train of thought, and because he can't be here to defend himself now. Most importantly, the predictions from production. Right? As we see from the middle score, me and Mikhail got it correct. Oh, and he's back. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'll be honest. I get that. Sure, you can meet me with my prediction. I did this as a kind of protest vote. I wanted to say it was not going to be as one-sided as you thought. I don't ever think in my heart of hearts it was ever going to be a 1-1. Pirox on the day just didn't look like the better team. Lodestar with superior firepower in every single role, every single fight they chose to take. They were just kind of better. But I have to say, the rounds that they put up from Pirox, they're respectable, right? In a game that you didn't really come into with a sense of, I can really win this. They still put up a really good fight. 13 rounds overall. It's very solid into a superior team.
Well, you do need 13 rounds to win the game. So, I think
And they managed it. They managed it over both of them. It's close.
That's very true. You can say that, but not close enough because Pirox lost.
Definitely not. Definitely not close enough, but also a lot closer to winning than they were to going 26-0, as someone predicted me had 87% chance of happening.
Maybe
since we're throwing people under the bus now.
Maybe they defied the odds. They went for that.
Maybe they defied the odds
and wanted to prove me wrong.
Yeah. When you said they weren't going to win a single round, they went 13. I think my prediction's honestly a little bit closer. I think somewhere in the middle is probably the good ground. I think we have to give prediction champion to Mikhail, who instead of saying random things, actually just said 2-0 and was right.
That is very true. And for that, he gets the golden. And wait a second. I can cook you. And you get bronze.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So there we go.
Amazing. Well, that is wonderful. That is unfortunately all we have time for on today's SOL Div 2 stream. Lodestar finding both the maps. Pretty convincing in the end. Finally taking off Pirox, who were... well, I'll say again, they were undefeated coming into today. This is a statement victory from Lodestar. Picking up both of them. Looking forward to the playoffs now. Top 8 out of the 11 will go through. So both of these teams comfortably within that. Very happy. This is just for seeding. It basically has been the whole time. But Lodestar laying down the gauntlet when it comes to these playoffs. When they come round, they're going to have the upper hand. If not physically, at least mentally.
Well, at least they got the 2-0. And that's all that was needed. But thank you for everyone who was tuning in. This was a very impromptu stream where everything kind of went wrong. And everything had to be done last minute. So... hopefully things weren't too bad, but I think we're going to see you guys next time, aren't we?
I hope so, and I hope next time that I don't keep disconnecting from our lovely call, because it was really annoying when it did that. But anyway, we will be back next time. If you want to join us, Sunday, Monday, we have League streams. Wednesday, we have our Valorant play. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. We will see you guys next time. We'll see you then.